Hello everyone, hope you found our last video on COVID-19 helpful in some or the other way. We at COIDMM have been closely observing the situation and we felt we should share our thoughts on some of the pressing issues at hand. First things first, is the curve of COVID-19 in India really flattening? Before getting into the answer right away, let's see what the curve is. The curve refers to the projected number of new cases over a period of time. The point noteworthy about the curve in case of an epidemic or a pandemic, as in this COVID-19 situation, is it is a bell-shaped one, in which there is an initial rise towards the peak and then there is a gradual decrease. That is, the initial number of cases reported increases and after a point, the number of cases being reported starts decreasing. Again, in this particular bell-shaped curve, we can either have a steep curve with an overwhelming number of cases or a much more flatter one like the one shown in the picture. Let me cite an example from the history to explain the curve better. During the 1918 pandemic of Spanish flu, the city St. Louis of Missouri took quarantine measures very seriously, but Philadelphia of Pennsylvania didn't. The result? The comparison graph says it all. St. Louis, which took quarantine measures seriously, was able to flatten the curve. Let's get back to the question. Is the curve of COVID-19 in India really flattening? To find that out, let's see the graph made by using data of India for COVID-19. Do you realize that if measures like lockdown have not been in place, the curve would have been more steeper? Yes, one can confidently say that India has taken measures that help to flatten the growth curve. But there is a second aspect to it. Have we reached the peak of the curve? Have we started going down the curve? Well, these two are very complicated questions to answer. Nevertheless, we would like to quote what Dr. Jacob John, the virologist, said. Until and unless we have crossed the peak, we would never be able to say if we have reached the peak. There it is. I mean, we just saw the graph. Can you make out from that? Not really. Let's see a simpler graph which depicts the number of cases being reported on a daily basis in some of the states of India. Can you at least now establish a result from this graph? Can you confidently say that after this particular point, the number of cases started going down? I guess not. Thus, with the information we have so far, we can safely say that India has taken measures to flatten the curve. Credits go to the government and frontline staff who are working day and night for our safety. And last but not the least, to us, the public, for staying cool by remaining indoors during the lockdown period. So, on a whole, one cannot conclusively say that if you have reached the peak or not. So let's just give some more time to it and then decide. However, there is a tricky part attached to this flattening of the curve which we would like to elaborate. You see, this curve is based on the number of positive cases reported daily. And how do you report these positive cases? When you test the suspected individuals. We mean both the symptomatic and asymptomatic individuals. So, in order to get a correct idea of number of positive cases, we will have to do tests and lots of them. In India, 24 people have to be tested to find one positive case. Whereas in Japan, 11 people have to be tested to find one positive case. While the numbers are 3.4 in Italy and 5.3 in UK. Let us now see a graph to find out where India stands with respect to other countries in terms of number of tests being conducted per 1,000 people. Unfortunately, the graph does not seem so pleasing. Testing of every suspected contact when the resources are not in abundance poses a logistical challenge. Therefore, a protocol has been adopted. We are optimizing our available resources. Of course, it is not enough in comparison to other developing countries and countries with external aid, but as a self-dependent and self-reliant country like India, we are doing the best we can. Just throwing a little bit more light onto this, For a country of its size, India has an alarmingly low rate of doctors by any reasonable metric. As per the latest statistics of WHO, World Health Organization, India has less than 0.8 doctors per 1,000 people, while the United States has thrice this amount. Thus, it is absolutely necessary that we utilize our resources, be it human resources or other resources, optimally, justly, and wisely. Despite all these efforts, you can always go on blaming the authorities or government. But what's the point? We are all in this fighting against COVID-19 together, right? So let's just hope that the situation gets better. Until then, let's contribute our bit to the society by staying indoors and staying as safe as possible. Before we end this video, we would like to touch upon one more aspect which we think is the most crucial thing that has to be considered now. I mean right now. That is the stages of transmission of a disease. Any disease must pass through 4 stages of transmission to evolve into an epidemic. Stage 1. The first appearance of symptoms in those people who have travel history. If such people are isolated and their contacts are traced, the spread of the infection can be prevented. If not, we move on to stage 2, which is the local transmission stage. In this particular stage, the persons who have travel history and are infected come in close contact with their family members, relatives, friends, etc. and spread the infection. At this stage, every single person who came in contact with the infected person have to be traced and isolated. If this is not done, we move on to stage 3, which is community transmission stage. In this stage, the infection spreads in the public community and even the source of infection cannot be traced. And the final stage is stage 4. Stage 4 is when the disease actually becomes an epidemic in a whole country, as it was in China, with large number of infections and increased death rate with no end in sight. India has categorically denied that we are not yet in stage 3, but yet we observe measures that are very much similar to the ones taken during community transmission stage, like large geographical lockdowns, designating hotspots, clusters, outbreaks, etc. based on different criteria. In comparison, the community transmission has been reported in the United States on February 26, 2020. The community transmission has been confirmed in Australia on March 2nd. The cases of community transmission have also been reported in the countries like UK, Indonesia as well. Here, in India, we cannot conclusively say that we are not in stage 3, but the symptoms are pretty much indicative. Since we are under lockdown, we have not developed immunity to this disease. Till date, there is no treatment in sight and vaccines have not yet been made. On top of this, there are reports from around the world which suggested that recovered cases are relapsing. That is, the recovered individuals are getting sick once again. Adding on to this, the world-renowned virologist Dr. Ian Lipkins confirms that there is no data or evidence which shows that coronavirus cannot reoccur in a recovered patient. Scientists are working on the assumption that once you contract coronavirus, you develop immunity to it post-recovery. But remember, that is just an assumption. As we all are very much aware of the lockdown and the phase-wise lifting of lockdown in our country, we must also note that before we get back to life as usual and business as usual, we must remember that the virus is still around us. That is, we are susceptible to virus at any place or any time. So, no matter what, do follow social distancing measures and practice proper hygiene etiquettes like washing your hands, wearing masks, etc. And also avoid unnecessary travel. If you remember St. Louis and Philadelphia of 1918 Spanish flu pandemic that we have cited earlier in the video, St. Louis took quarantine measures very seriously and was able to flatten the curve. But after that, St. Louis decided to stop social distancing measures when the curve started showing a downward bend. As a result, the death rate jumped high and the city had to be locked down once again. Do you want that to happen in India? No. We, being responsible citizens, must provide our helping hand to the government in turning all the red and orange zones into green zones. Finally, what we are hinting at is that if not on 3rd May or 2 weeks after 3rd May or whenever the lockdown is lifted, please be ultra cautious before you get back to your normal life. Accept that this is the new normal and adopt this till the vaccine is in sight. Please be very careful and cautious. These are the difficult times, and so think twice before doing anything. Feel free to ask any questions or queries that you might have. Stay home, stay safe.